Okay, it looks like we are being teleported into Facebook. Let's see if we are live on a Real Estate Rockstars. I am waiting for a thumb up, which I got right now from my dear assistant, Lily. Thank you so much. Hello, Real Estate Rockstars. Here is Coach Hannah with my dear guest and friend, Coach Mike Cribbin. Hey, Mike, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing fine today. It's a great day, 105 degrees. Oh, but
Oh, wow.
yes.
Okay, I will stop complaining about Prague being in almost 90 Fahrenheit. Okay, but I have no AC. I'm living the old style Europe here right now.
Oh, wow.
Well, look at that. I'm still smiling. So anyway, Mike, thank you so much for making time to come on jam session here at Real Estate Rockstars. Guys, you are here for a big treat because recently I had an interview. I interviewed Mike. I pulled some questions from his students and I interviewed Mike for our podcast and our YouTube channel. And at the end of the interview, I realized, a lot of the questions were about FSBOs and about mindset. And then I asked Mike if he would spare some time to come on jam session and give us some more information and some coaching tips and tricks how to convert FSBOs into clients. So this will be a really special session. We only have 30 minutes. So in case you have any questions, please type them somewhere below. I'll try to look them up. And if we will have time, Mike will answer them. So Mike, are you ready for it?
I'm ready. Let's go.
Let's go. So I have rewritten some of the questions and let me dive straight into that. So question number one, let's start with this. Are FSBOs worth working with?
The answer to that is real simple. It's yes, most definitely. I mean, everybody seems to be looking for the low-hanging fruit or the easy button. Well, FSBOs are about as close as you can get to the easy button. Are they worth it? Yes. Why? Because, we know they want to sell. They actively are trying to sell. And more than likely, they really haven't ever sold a house before. And that's where you can come in and look like the professional, look like the expert, because whether you've sold one house, two houses, five houses in your entire career, you have sold more than the FSBO has. You have been to class. You have got your license. You've been around realtors. You have been around the active process of what it takes to sell a house and what to expect in the process of selling. And no matter how much you can communicate that to the seller and you will look like an expert. They will view you as an expert because you have answers to what to them might seem like a daunting question. To you, it could be run-of-the-mill, yep, I know how to do that, or I know what the answer is to that.
Yeah, absolutely. So this answer had opened up a space for a whole chain of other answers, other questions. However, let's go into a mindset. Why are agents afraid contacting FSBOs, communicating FSBOs, or going after FSBOs if it's such a easy, low-hanging fruit? Why?
Well, a lot of that is because FSBOs can appear to be rude. They don't know what to say to you when you are calling them. They sometimes are abrupt. They just hang up. as
They
much
can
as
also be discouraged if they had previously bad experience. So there is a very different form of communication probably needed, right?
exactly. And if you're going to the door, quite often a FSBO won't answer, or they are quick to get you off the front porch. They just say
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
A lot of it, a lot of the problem with agents today is they're afraid.
Mm-hmm.
There's a fear factor. They don't really have a system in place. They don't know what to do. So when they are confronted with an objection or a no, or any sort of resistance whatsoever, the first thing they do is they say, okay, and they walk away. They don't realize that a no today is not necessarily a no for tomorrow. The
Mm-hmm.
no
True.
could be temporary.
Yeah. Yeah. How would you approach the first contact with the FSBO? What is your go-to technique?
Well, the first thing that you've got to do is when you are calling them or knocking on the door, or however your first
Mm-hmm.
contact is, the goal is to get an appointment. That's the goal. You don't want to go for the listing, boom, right away. You want to set up an appointment.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got to have um, some sort of way to get them past the no, past the hang up. You've got to get them off their game plan. So you have to have a strategy.
Mm-hmm.
And I always look at it as sports. The strategy I have is to win the
I like that.
conversation, win the negotiating, win whatever it is. And right now, if we're talking FSBO, the first thing I want to do is I want to win. I want to get a yes for an appointment instead
Mm-hmm.
of a no or a hang up.
Yeah.
So there's a little script, and I really don't like scripts, because the first thing a script does is it makes you sound scripted.
Mm-hmm. True.
So
So
you,
how do you approach that? What is actually your script? Would you be willing to share it here with us?
well, now that might cost you. I mean, okay, let's say if there's a chance I could put more cash in your pocket even after paying the commission, would you consider listing your house with an agent?
Oh, I like that. But do you say hello or hi?
Oh, normally
Can I talk to how do you open up the conversation? So let's say the phone
yes,
is ringing, I pick it up and I say hello.
yes. This is Mike Cribbin, broker owner of Cribbin Realty. Don't worry, I'm not trying to list your house, but what the heck happened? Why hasn't your house sold?
I don't know. Nobody's coming.
And then,
Oh.
depending on your response,
Mm-hmm.
that is the next section. The intro is first to get them off their game plan.
Yeah.
Their game plan is to get rid of you. And if you are asking them a question, hello, this is Mike Cribbin, broker owner of Cribbin Realty. Don't worry, I'm not trying to list your house. Because
Mm-hmm.
really, when I'm making the phone call, I'm not trying to list their house. I'm trying to get an appointment. And
Yes.
then when I get there, I'm going to be giving them some ideas on how they can get their home sold. And
Mm-hmm.
usually I inundate them with things they have to do. So they bring up the question of, can you and will you list my house? So what I do then is try to get them to realize, well, let's back up for a minute. Why is somebody selling FSBO? Because they want more money in their pocket. They
Yes.
want to save on the commission.
Yes.
So if they are saving on the commission, that means they are trying to net as much money as they possibly can. So if I tell them through this little piece that I've got, if there's a chance I could put more money in your pocket, even after paying my commission, would you consider listing your home with me? Now,
Well, you definitely get attention with that. Absolutely. Because
yes,
you
I've got
know
them.
what they want.
Yeah, I've got them thinking, oh, wait a minute, maybe I'm not going to say no. The typical responses that you get are, you can't do that. How would you do that? Or, yeah, right, no. And then when they say no, it's like, you mean to tell me you don't want to net more money? You don't want to net the most amount of money you possibly can?
Yeah.
You know, and you say it in such a way that it's a question that begs an answer. And
Yes.
they want to answer that because you're kind of making them feel a little bit like, oh, yes, of course I do. I'm not stupid. So they keep the conversation moving. And that's all you can hope for, is to keep the conversation moving.
Yeah.
And eventually you get around to asking for an appointment, and then you go on the appointment. And one of the first things they want to say is, well, how are you going to make me more money?
Yeah,
And
that's true. That's the nature. Yes. How are you gonna do it? And how will what is your guarantee, right? Because they might be kind of on a little bit on edge, because of
oh,
course
they're
they're
definitely on
both.
edge. There's no doubt. But that's an opening line that I use. There are others. Your house has I don't see your house as being sold yet. What the heck's going on? Your home should have been sold by now.
Yeah.
And that,
Amazing. You are so smooth in the conversation. There is like all your questions are very, they're not attacking them. They're not telling them you don't have the knowledge, the expertise, like who are you to trying to sell your own house? And, you don't put them down. You really engage them in the conversation and into thinking like why the house didn't sell. And I'm sure that you can gently explain a couple of reasons why it didn't work out and how you can help them, right? I'm sorry. You continue. You tell me how the story continues. I'm just assuming.
When you look at a for sale by owner, many times you start thinking about them and you're thinking, they're rude, they're know-it-alls, they're stubborn, they're pushy, they're dreamers. There's no way they're going to get that kind of money or whatever. But by the time you gently talk to them about them saving the commission, and you massage in the point that the buyer is really only looking at your house because they too want to save that commission, and they are bringing an agent with them. So you're going to have to come up with 50% of the commission anyway. So when you look at that, you realize that the FSBO is really, I don't know how to say it. Let's say they are scared. they're afraid also. They think you are going to take advantage of them. So that is not what you want to do. You want to help them. You want to give them insight, give them hope that their house is going to sell, and this is what has to happen. And this is the way it's going to sell. And then you walk them through the closing steps and all that is involved in it. And before too long, they're like, I didn't know anywhere near as much as I thought I did.
Yeah,
And
they
you're
might
going,
say,
if you're
I need your
relative,
help.
yeah, and if you're relatively new to the industry, you're going, hot damn, I know more than I thought I knew. And even if you don't know very much, you appear to know a lot more through the eyes of the for sale by owner because they didn't know as much as you did. So
What I love here, what you just said a little while ago is tied with mindset, that if agents would less focus on their fear from unhappy FSBOs, but try to understand that FSBOs are in pain and they have fear, and you know, they have big problem because the house is not selling. If agents would be able to change their mindset about FSBOs, then it might be way much easier for them to get FSBOs as clients.
well, think about it for a minute. If you are a FSBO and you're selling a house, and then you've got these real estate agents who, I mean, how many of them have been trained to go after for sale by owners and expireds? That's what everybody is told to do. Usually, none of the offices really have a very good training program to show them how to do it. So they're told to do it, and they're given these outdated, old, terrible scripts to use. And when they start using them, and the for sale by owner is getting 25, 30 calls a day,
Oh,
yeah, they're
wow.
going to be rude. They're going to be pissed. They're going to use caller ID and just screen you. So use that little bridge or whatever you want to call it. Use that as what you leave as a voicemail.
Yeah.
Use that, however, because all they want is the most money they can get. So if you're going to use that script or something close to it, you have to always modify these scripts to fit your personality. If it doesn't fit you and roll off your tongue, then it sounds scripted and you sound phony and you won't get any deals. You need to get out and go work in the grocery industry or something else. But if you're going to be a real estate agent and you are going to work for sale by owners or expireds, there's one key ingredient you have to have, and that's your mindset. You have to have confidence. As I always say, you have to have the big C. You've got to have confidence, and you have to show confidence, even if you don't know what the hell, how you're going to do something. You've got to show that you are very confident. Many times I get mixed up with confidence and arrogance because I've been doing this for a while, and things just roll off my tongue. And when I get finished saying it, it's like, oh shit, how the hell am I going to do that? But
Practice
you figure it out.
confidence,
Yes,
perseverance.
that's
It
it.
doesn't happen overnight.
It's a mental game. It's
Yes.
a mental game, and you have to have the confidence and the stick-to-itiveness to make things happen. And
Yeah.
I mean, sure, you're not going to be good at it at first. It's going to be tough. It's going to be hard, but you have to embrace the failures. How else are you going to get better? How are you going to grow if you don't fail? You have to make mistakes. That's how you learn what to say and what not to say. So make your mistakes. Guess what?
Absolutely.
You're going to survive.
Yeah.
It's not going to kill you. And the more mistakes you make, the more you're going to learn. Now, we got to temper that you can't make too many and that you go broke, but growth comes from experience.
That is true. I would maybe recommend when you're doing cold calling FSBOs expireds, record yourself and then listen to what you say, how you react, make a note and keep on improving the game, because that's the only way. You have to stick to it. You have to do it and learn and improve. Yeah.
Also, Hannah, you have to realize that getting up in the morning, going into the office,
yes,
and looking at that phone where the receiver looks like it weighs 200 pounds and that coffee cup probably needs to be topped off, and you might want to talk to somebody in the office.
Distractions,
avoidance. So what you have to do is also in mindset, you've got to begin to think positive.
Yeah.
So let's say that you get up, you have a choice in the morning. Are you going to be positive or are you going to be, negative Nancy? Whatever. Sorry, Nancy's. But how are you going to face the day? I look at it this way. When I'm getting up and I have to go get on the phone, I'm going to make 10 phone calls a day. Now then, the nice thing about
what time do you do the calls? Let's just get some more practical answers from you. What time?
Well, I don't want to bother them while they are getting dressed and ready for work, because they're usually running late, they're rushed, and they're not going to want to talk to you. So I usually do it in the evening. I'll call sometime between 5 and 7. And I make it very short, but I'm also remembering, you know what? There's a lot of them that are going to screen me. So if I make 10 calls, I figure 7 are going to go to voicemail. I've only got to talk to 3 people. So it's not too bad. I don't have to worry about that much rejection. And if I get more, great. But also on the voicemail, if you leave that message that we just talked about, you will get return calls. There's just no doubt somebody will call. It's a lot better than saying, I'm Mike Cribbin, broker, owner of Cribbin Realty. I'm interested in listing your house. Do you still want to sell? Are you the owner of the home at 123 Maple Street? Those are all telltale signs that you don't know what the hell you're doing. Don't be like everybody else. Be different. Take ownership for your business. You are a realtor. You have a business. That means you get a 1099. Oh, that also means you're an entrepreneur. So if you're an entrepreneur, you are responsible for the success and failure of your business. So think positive. It's going to succeed. I am not going to be one of the 87% that fail in the first 5 years. Not going to happen. I am going to take control of my business and I am going to go step by step by step. I'm going to set goals. I'm going to make it happen. And if you take small enough little steps, it will happen.
It will happen. True. Mike, sorry for the interruption. I picked the phone during our call. I'm sorry about that, but I'm looking at the Facebook and there is a question from, I don't have my glasses, Shanshan. Thank you so much for posting a question. It's kind of funny one. Listen to this. Just saw a FSBO sign this morning, but the house looks like crap. Do I still say, can't believe it's not sold? How do you approach that situation?
And yep, you use the same thing because you want to stir up conversation. They're selling it themselves. They must think in their eyes that it's decent. And you know, everything will sell. It's just at what price. So, yes.
So please go, Shanshan, go and give them a call and let us know how it worked out.
Yes. Let them know that by hiring you, you are an expert in dealing with for sale by owners, or you are an expert to check out the neighborhood. You are an expert in that neighborhood. You are an expert with homes that look like shit. No, you're an expert selling whatever type home it is, ranches, 1-car garage, 2-car garages. You are an expert in that area. That is your expertise. And we need to talk because I'm almost positive I can put more money in your pocket than you can put in your pocket selling it for sale by owner. Now, if that is the case, shouldn't we sit down and talk?
Oh my goodness, absolutely. Because at that point, they know they are not selling. Nobody's ringing and giving them offers. So I understand it that if you use the correct language and correct communication, you get what you want. They will listen to you and they will communicate back. So a couple more questions before the time will run out. How often do you do cold calling? Once a week, twice a week?
No, I do it 7 days a week.
That's the answer. That's the answer. And I know, well, I don't know if the number has changed, but from statistics point of view, FSBOs, they end up selling with the agent, 90% of them, or maybe even more at the end, they sell with the agent. Do you have your own statistics? How many FSBOs you convert into your clients?
Well, I do my statistics a little bit different because a lot of people track they track dials and people they actually talk to, and how many of those go to leads and how many of those go to listings and how many of those close. That's all great, but it takes time. I look at it that I am going to call 10 a day. That's it. No more, 10 a day. And it doesn't take but a few minutes to call and get those on the line, either through a machine or whatever. I'm going to get those 10. Now, out of those 10, so you're looking at quite a few for sale by owners that I contact. How many per week do I list? Well, I don't even track that. I track how many do I close. Of the ones that I have spoken to and that I list, last year I sold 100% of them. The year before, in 2022, I sold 100% of them. Normally, though, I sell about 97% of all the FSBOs, a little bit less on the expireds, because a lot of times they're expired for a reason. But you've got to be able to add a couple of for sale by owners every month to make this viable. Now then, can you add? Yes, you can, but you can't get discouraged, because at first you're going to fail miserably. and then you're
Then
going to
you
get
better
better.
just, guys, start failing quickly so you can bounce back up.
Yes.
But with one little disclaimer, Mike has been in the real estate since 1974, and he is a true rock star. Okay, so if you would be interested, Mike is coaching FSBOs and expireds through Real Estate Rockstars, but obviously he is very kind and happy to share his wisdom just like that. So yeah, the failure first, and then recovery, and then it's only way up, right?
Yeah, and you know what? I just thought of something. Here it is. If you are failing and not getting better, well, there's a reason for that. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and over again, well,
Yeah,
you know what that
it's
is.
true. You'll
Yeah.
get the same results. Yes,
So
absolutely.
what do you have to do? You need to take the Real Estate Rockstars class, the FSBO class, or the expired class, or the
Yeah,
Systems for Success class. You've got to take a class. You've got to do something different to get you out of the same mode. You should be
absolutely.
getting better. So track your numbers to the point to see if you are getting better. That's
Mm-hmm.
what you need to do. Get better at what you're doing.
Well, okay, just this came out of a moment. I know that your class is 4 weeks, but what do you think? Would you be willing to do like one crash course, one webinar with a Q&A, and we can come up with some irresistible offers for our clients? Our students can get it as a part of their membership, but can we maybe come up with something where you would dive deeper into objections, into communication? Maybe we can do some role play, and I'm sorry to put you on a hot spot, but what you think
Look
about
at that. What a saleswoman you are.
Oh,
You've got
sorry.
me where I can't possibly say no. So
That's a
the
yes.
answer
You see,
has
that's
to
a
be
sales
yes.
technique.
Sure. Nice job on the sale. You set it up so I can't say no. Yes, I would be more than happy to.
This is
We'll
so
work
good.
something out.
This is so good what you are sharing with us. And it's just hard to get, someone who is not only doing it, but also is able to teach it. So that's amazing combination. So thank you so much, guys. I got Mike back. I will ask Roseanne in the office to create some kind of a link so you can sign up for the webinar. I promise that we'll come up with a irresistible offer. And unfortunately, the time is up. We have to go back to grind and back to work. But Mike, thank you so much. Thank you. And I wish you a phenomenal day. And I can't wait to have you back and talk more about FSBOs. And then maybe we'll get you back for expired. What do you think?
Oh, all right. You got me again. Okay, let's do it. Sounds good. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for the questions, and we'll see you soon again. So thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.